Welcome to another episode of RTP Wrestling. I'm your host, Anthony A&T NHD. And next to me, I got my boy, John. Johnny, we still got to figure that out. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing all right, man. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Wrestling was fantastic this past week.
Yeah.
Everything was great, top to bottom. Nothing felt like a chore. It was thoroughly entertaining. And we got a crazy good episode of Dynamite right in the middle of the week, too. It was great.
Even NXT. There was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of wrestling news this week. So we're going to be going through show by show, talking about everything that happened in wrestling this week. And to kick it off, man, you saw the thumbnail. That's why you clicked on it. Zack Ryder versus LA Knight.
Hat's going backwards for this. Here we go.
LA Knight kicks out of a Rough Rider in this match and ends up taking the win. How did you feel about this match? And I think the big question is Zack Ryder a full-timer? Or is this a one-off?
I mean, who the fuck knows what Triple H thinks about Zack Ryder? That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Can he do it? Hell yeah. I mean, also, I'm a little bummed out. I mean, he was like, I'm not coming back if I'm not Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
But hey, I like Zack Ryder. When I heard the woo, I got so excited.
You know it.
I like the match. I want him to be a full-timer.
Yeah.
I would like him to come home. I always liked Zack Ryder. I always felt bad for him when I was a kid. Because he always just got the short end of the stick in the gimmick side of things. But yeah, I think he sticks around. Him kicking out of one Rough Rider. I mean, WWE is just a kick-out fest in general. Didn't surprise me. Bummed me out that someone returning has their finisher kicked out too.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe it should have just been reversed.
Yeah, or something.
And like maybe don't let him hit it clean. You know what I mean? But he hit his
foot on
finisher
the ropes
clean.
or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Something to save it. Yeah, I agree with you.
Or maybe like a ref bump. Something, you know?
I think there's a lot in that, but I do think WWE kind of desperately needs like Matt Cardona back or Zack Ryder. I mean,
and they need virality. They need the internet on their side.
They just signed Joe Hendry officially, so having that, I think because I think it's kind of clear they don't want to call up these NXT guys yet.
Yeah,
like Oba, Trick, Javon Evans, those guys are all clearly ready to go out the box.
The tournament too.
Well,
NXT guys.
I just don't think it'll be Oba Femi because he just got brought back on NXT this week and he said he's going for the title. Javon Evans got announced for the match against Gunther on Raw, so I think that's going to be the NXT representation. I do think this mystery opponent's probably going to be. I mean, I thought it was Rob Van Dam for LA Knight. I'm kind of off of it now. I think this is going to be Joe Hendry versus
Joe Hendry. Yeah, I think Joe Hendry would be a good thing because I know Cena's hot on Hendry too.
Yeah.
I think he has more of a say than we probably think.
Uh-huh.
But honestly, even putting Ryder and Hendry together as a first feud could work.
It would be fun.
Ryder was a babyface. It was a babyface versus babyface match, which are always fun. Kind of feels like old school WWE in that sense. That's why it actually felt good. I like seeing that and seeing LA Knight, and then they had a good style together. But I think Zack Ryder would be a good feud with Joe Hendry coming, both of them being full main roster guys.
I would wait on it just because, like we said, we need that mix. So I would like to see them feud separately just so that we don't get the same fucking Drew McIntyre feuding with Cody Rhodes for 8 months, Aleister Black feuding with Damian Priest for 8 months. Like,
over and over.
Throw those guys in there and then eventually they can meet because I agree with you. I think that would be an amazing feud.
And then, like, maybe, like, we talked about this off camera a little bit, but, like, if Cena goes out with the IC title, there's a vacant IC title.
Whoa.
Put Zack Ryder in there.
Yeah.
Put LA Knight in there. You know what I mean? There's so many guys that deserve so much. Put Finn in there. Put I mean, big time main event Jey Uso in there, you know? Like,
that's where he needs to be.
I definitely think that that a tournament for the IC title would put all these guys like that are kind of these wayward. WWE doesn't really seem to know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Into like a real clear direction. I really think that would be awesome.
I think that kind of brings on like a strong conversation where I do feel like this John Cena retirement tour or this retirement tournament, is filled with those guys.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't like it. I wish we had more. And I know when we did our tournaments, I had like Edge, Jericho,
I had CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Like we had a lot of big name guys, and maybe that wasn't a realistic expectation to have. But I would have loved to see more NXT representation, TNA representation. And I do feel like they did a good job with that on Raw, announcing that on John Cena's last pay-per-view, it's going to be a lot of NXT talent getting the rub on that show versus main roster talent. So I do have some names for you. NXT guys. I want to see how familiar you are with these guys.
Okay.
And I think these are probably the names that we'll see on this show. And the first one, I know you're familiar with him because I talk about him all the time. We talked about Javon Evans. I think just has to be on the show, right?
I think Javon Evans' style is interesting with anybody on the main roster right now.
Yeah.
It's same with like Carmelo Hayes, like those types of guys, Ricky Saints. Like you get all these guys coming in working with any of the main roster guys. Like it's gonna be money once they're there. Like we're talking about how these older guys are kind of cycling out. We're getting a new generation coming up. They need to pull the trigger. They need to now. While these older guys are still have meat on the bone and have energy in the tank, because I don't want to see old man CM Punk putting over Ricky Saints. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need to see it. They got lucky with the Boneyard match with Undertaker putting over. Well, actually, did not put over AJ Styles. AJ was buried, but literally. But having that match and still in a way putting over AJ Styles being his last match.
It gets that attention. Yeah.
But like Old Man Taker, that was like the absolute last bit of credibility left.
Yeah.
I want to see these newer talents put over people.
So I think they're setting up Javon Evans to be on the show because on Tuesday, him and Leon Slater, which those are the two guys I sent you that Instagram video and you were like chemistry. They're challenging for the NXT tag titles. So I can see them having the titles and going into John Cena's last match or whatever.
We need more tag teams on SmackDown.
On everywhere. Yeah. And Javon Evans and Leon Slater are two of the best wrestlers in the world, and both of them are like 21 and 20. So I think those are the guys.
They're that young?
Yes, those are the Leon Slater just turned 21 end of September.
Like, my God. I didn't know they were that young.
But they're experienced. They've been wrestling for 7-8 years across the Indies, you know? So
that's insane.
They're ridiculous. I think a guy you brought up right now, Ricky Saints, is definitely going to be on the show. I don't see how you have the NXT World Champion on a show. Not on a show where you do all that. Who would you want to see him fight on this show? I know you always bring up Ricky and Punk, but is there another?
I don't know why. I just think Punk would really put over Ricky Saints. I think that would be a good match, and Punk's slower style would be interesting to see because all these NXT guys are like ripping pre-workout and chain wrestling without calling a single spot, memorizing everything. I think Punk would force someone like Ricky Saints to call the match, to listen and have the match called and have a really methodical. They could have a really good match, but Ricky Saints. Besides Punks, I've already talked about that. I mean, put him against anybody that can like move him. You know Dragunov, Ilya Dragunov. I know it's another NXT guy, Johnny Gargano. He's good. Chad Gable when he comes back. I hope Chad Gable comes back without the Americano gimmick.
Yeah.
I hope that's just.
He's definitely gonna feud with him.
I hope that's just Ludwig's.
Yeah.
I hope that's just Ludwig's, and that's just gonna stay there.
Uh-huh.
Because he's doing it better than Chad was. He just is. He just is, and also Ludwig's a better wrestler in that style. Chad Gable is one of the best legit wrestlers too. Like he looks so good, like little perk angle, like smaller at perk angle. I would like to see Ricky Saints and Chad Gable.
That'd be cool. My last thing, I have other names on here, but you think they're gonna have some women's representation on NXT? You think we see a Mariah May, a Sol Ruka, Zarya?
I was just about to say Mariah May, Sol Ruka they got it. I mean, we just had Lash Legend
get called
come up too.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna try that out first. Maybe let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. But I think it's obvious that Sol Ruka is gonna be there. She's been on TV a lot.
Yeah.
Is she injured right now?
She just came back. Literally.
She just came back.
So
okay, yeah. I missed NXT.
Tuesday,
I missed NXT as well. I had a busy week.
Yeah.
You know, and I also I missed Dynamite. I had to watch a recap because I was literally.
I watched.
That was
an
like
amazing show. But I want to say one more thing. Tuesday, Mariah May, Sol Ruka. You definitely got to catch that show this week.
Okay.
NXT the next 2 weeks are all the titles are on the line, so there's gonna be a lot of moving around pieces. I think.
And Sol's back, so that's good.
Yeah, that's must watch TV. But is there anything on SmackDown we really have to touch?
I mean, Jay versus Miz, that was a snoozer.
No.
Miz, of course, it's hard to make the Miz look entertaining.
Uh-huh.
As in, Miz is a safe worker and he's a very, very talented performer, but like his gimmick isn't like this flashy wrestler. So he works very methodically, kind of chopping you down.
Uh-huh.
But Jay looks sluggish. I don't know what it is. Just Jay looks like he's in slow motion lately. And I used to, full honesty, I like Jey Uso.
I still like Jey Uso.
I still like Jey Uso. I like his gimmick, but I don't know what's going on with it. He's in the in-between. He teased the heel turn. They should have just went with it.
Yeah. Then you could have had these cheap super kick matches and shit like that.
Yeah, but it's just super kick, spear, super kick, frog splash. Miz loses again. Like it just felt like the most nothing match. Like if you're gonna have Jey Uso just beat someone the way Jey Uso beats somebody, put someone else in there. Then let Miz fight. Let Miz go up against an NXT guy.
Miz Javon would have been amazing.
Miz going against NXT guys because Miz has all that. Miz has crazy experience compared to any of these guys on like I don't know. I
agree with you.
I hate to see Miz used like that,
especially in this tournament because it's so clear online. Nobody wants to see. I think the online stuff is like kind of fake. When you're in the arena, it's different. But no one wants to see John Cena, Jey Uso. Everyone would much rather see Miz, John Cena.
I would love that match.
That would be so amazing. But we just know we're not going to get it. So I guess that's why this is somewhat fine. But I don't know. I just think you got to should have put him against a heel. They should have done Miz, Finn Balor, or Jey Uso. I don't love it.
The other stuff on SmackDown, just real quick, just the Rhea and Flair stuff. I mean, that's kind of the starting of something. Like the weird Charlotte being everything's about me, Charlotte type of character.
Can I say something? Is this a safe space?
This is a safe space.
I don't really care about Rhea Ripley returning again.
I forgot she was gone. I honestly forgot that she wasn't there and then she came back. I just think it's because the women's division just feels so there's no you know what I mean? There's no meat on the bone.
It's like when there's no titles involved and all your main eventers are in the mid card, it doesn't feel right. That's literally Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, all in the mid card just doesn't rub me the right way.
Now, is it going to be a great match? Probably.
Yeah.
I think they're all going to bring it. I genuinely think their match will probably be better than the men's match. We've seen those guys fight. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we've seen combinations of every single match that's in that cage.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing new.
Yeah.
But this at least has something fresh. And that's why I'm like, I'm gonna probably end up at the end of the day enjoying this match way more than I'm gonna enjoy the men's match. Men's match, what? It's gonna be a distraction finish or Cody Rhodes adrenaline, you know? And that's the end of the show. Maybe a return.
I think what the separator of this match is, if all the theories online are true, it's gonna end up filling out with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I think that'll make it a little bit more interesting. But Io Sky has been the War Games MVP every year.
I still want to see Brock Lesnar, but Io Sky, you're right. Io Sky works her ass off. I think the MFTs are actually gonna kind of be. I think they're gonna be the better part of the men's match. Actually, I think they've had enough time to really actually work on these guys. They're not just throwing them into the biggest feud in the world, like with the Bloodline stuff, like Tama.
Oh, you're saying the Survivor Series match next Friday?
So yeah, next Friday. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So I'm bouncing. I'm doing some Matrix thinking.
Yeah.
Crazy ADHD right now.
No, that's gonna be a much better match. 100%.
I think like literally that stuff actually makes sense.
Yeah.
That match actually makes sense.
That match needed a War Game stage.
Yes.
Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, Punk. They don't need the stage. I would have much rather seen the World Heavyweight and the Universal or whatever it's called title be defended on this show.
Or the old school NXT versus main roster.
Please, anything.
Like, wouldn't that have been sick? Imagine Obafemi having to team with Ricky Saints.
Yeah.
Makes you watch NXT, so you have this team coming together, and then it could even set feuds. I liked that stuff a lot better if we're talking about putting NXT guys over. But the other thing
is just throw it together and it doesn't make sense. But
it doesn't. It seems like they're doing it because it makes money.
Yeah.
War Games, you have a sell, makes money. The feud doesn't justify the stipulation.
Exactly.
We have to talk about Ilya versus Axiom and then the Vision stuff. The Vision stuff, I'm just kind of like...
We could throw that in the trash. Drew McIntyre is part of the Vision. Let's talk about Ilya and Axiom.
This makes no sense. Drew and Seth hate each other. Now he's working for Paul. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever. They'll figure it out. It's literally just for
War Games.
The angle.
Yeah.
Ilya versus Axiom was great. Ilya is putting on consistent 4 and 5 star matches. I hope he holds that title as long as possible.
Yeah. Who do you want to take the title from him? Eventually. I think the obvious one's Carmelo Hayes.
An NXT call-up. Would be great. Someone returning, Kevin Owens. If Ilya's gonna hold this title for like a year.
Yeah.
Like if this is the start of a really long run for Ilya Dragunov as the US champion, I think
like lose it at Mania.
Possibly Sammy could come back and take it, which I'm always down for.
People
Sammy
would
Hogan.
hate that.
I would too. I would like Ilya and Sammy at Mania and Ilya beats him clean again.
That'd be cool.
No,
I feel the same way about Kevin Owens. I think I would want Kevin Owens to come back and fight him because I would love to see that match. But I don't think I'd want Kevin Owens. I think when Kevin Owens comes back...
He already came and got the U.S. title office. He already did it once.
When Kevin Owens comes back, he has to be a main eventer. I just think we got to throw a world championship on him and Sammy. I think we're getting to that point where... I mean, Kevin Owens has had the world title before, but Kevin Owens and Sammy are going to be the bridge period between like Cody Rhodes and these guys and like the NXT guys.
The tweeters.
So I think we have to build these guys up where when Carmelo Hayes, Ilya, whoever ended up winning world championship, they beat Sami Zayn, who's a 5-time world champion, rather than they beat Sami Zayn's first world title reign because they had to give it to him because Cody retired.
And honestly, Jay will be around too. He'll be a top guy. Jimmy as well. Like all of those guys. JC Mateo.
You just threw a name in there. You think he'll be a main?
No, as in he's young.
Okay.
He's young.
That's fair.
I'm saying he'll be around.
We're talking about main event though.
Who knows?
I don't think so.
Who knows?
I think if you bring...
I don't think it's likely.
If you bring such a big name guy in Japan like JC Mateo, and then you just have him wear face paint and be Solo's bitch, I don't think there's a world championship anywhere.
What if this is his Huskus Harris? What if this is his Huskus Harris, right? Isn't that the name of Bray Wyatt's
Harris.
Husky Harris, yeah. But no, the original Nexus character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
What if this is his thing? Would you have ever thought that Bray Wyatt, with a almost Nazi-esque armband called the Nexus, and he just looked like a tub of melted peanut butter, and then he comes back and becomes... Well, also Bray Wyatt didn't really get over it.
We talked about this a little bit pre-show.
Yeah.
That was Vince McMahon. This is Triple H. Triple H has not been able to really elevate anyone in the main event scene we care about.
He capitalizes on it, though. But he can't. He's not doing it. He's trying it with the Vision. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and I think
he's just doing evolution over and over.
I think some guys are just layups. Like I'm not gonna give him credit for Roman. I'm not gonna give him credit for Gunther. I'm not gonna give him credit for Braun Breaker. Like those guys, I would love to see like LA Knight's a guy that I feel like has been there, and they should give him something, and they just are not capitalizing on that. It's a fucking layup, and it just.
And also Roman Reigns, I would. Genuinely, I know people just love to slob on Paul Heyman, but that was a Paul Heyman creation as well.
Exactly. So it's just I think if they pulled the trigger on Kevin Owens last year when he was fighting Cody and
that would have been insane.
That would have felt like
they should have pulled the trigger on Drew 2 matches ago with Cody.
It's played out because now Drew McIntyre has no.
You know he's 40 years old.
Yeah,
he doesn't have all that much time left.
No. It just doesn't make sense. Triple H is a terrorist, and he must be.
He's
stopped.
A terrorist. He's a jihadist that we need to send in SEAL Team 6. But if anyone's gonna beat Ilya though, I still think Kevin would be cool to beat him. But someone who could actually work that strong style like him. Honestly, Chad Gable. If he came back and was a face, or was a heel, just abandoning the whole Alpha Academy stuff, just Chad Gable repackaged as just a killer.
Another Triple H fumble.
Fumble. It's because he's 5'9".
Yeah, literally. I think we should pivot over and talk about Raw because there was kind of a lot on Raw as well. And the big thing, I guess, that we need to cover is John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio. John Cena ends up taking home the Intercontinental Champion.
Good, easy, classic match.
A Grand Slam champ. Yeah, classic match. Nothing really too special in this match. It really was just about the moment. I'm not this guy. I will say this should have made event of the show.
Yes, I think everything else felt like I said. I didn't even remember the rest of the show. I really had to look it up because I'm like,
who gives a fuck? You know, you had a whole heel turn on the show, and it just with a heel turn against a world champion, and no one really cared.
And coincidentally, the heel turn being his ex-wife is also kind of
yeah.
Did they get married?
Yeah, they got married.
Oh, I didn't know they actually got past
married and divorced.
Giggity.
But I think a lot of people were saying like, oh, because if Dom came out and then it would have felt like we know John Cena's winning, like. We knew John Cena was winning. The second that bell rang.
We're Boston.
So I don't get why. Even though part of me, a cynical part of me, was if Dom beat John Cena in Boston and held the Grand Slam away from him, Dom would have got so much fucking heat. That would have been so amazing for wrestling.
He rolls him up, pulls the shorts. Oh my god.
El Grande Americano comes out and distracts John Cena just like the most basic.
Travis Scott. Feed.
Like, I'm back.
He doesn't even need to come out. Just play the music. And then John Cena sells everything like he's a newborn baby.
That's a Dom move.
You know, I honestly, if Dominic was going to be his last match, I would have advocated for him losing this match.
Yeah.
Cena losing this match. But now that he lost, I'm like, okay, so Dom's obviously not going to be in this bracket.
Yeah, it's done.
It's done. Dom will probably be in the IC title bracket and probably will win.
Get it? Yeah, he should.
He probably will win.
I think he's going to lose.
Imagine him versus Gunther and him fucking over Gunther.
I mean, that was my tournament. Tournament.
He's so skinny, and Gunther is just such a fucking unit. I don't know. Or even Drew.
I think we're for sure getting Dom versus Rhea Survivor Series for the AAA Mega Championship, or however you say it. I think that's going to be an amazing match. I'm excited to be there. I'm going to be in San Diego. San Diego's one place to do it.
Boots on the ground, man.
And I think Dominic Mysterio is going to beat Rey Mysterio there. And I think we get the Rey Mysterio retirement match at WrestleMania for the title.
You got to get people to use code RTP while you're out there.
Oh, if I'm out there, I'm definitely going to be telling them to sign up for Boom Fantasy and use code RTP. Sign up now. You get a risk-free bet up to $100. It's the easiest way to support me, John, and the rest of the RTP family. So please sign up. We got some, I guess UFC Pass today. Islam Makhachev already won the title.
Yeah, we're making some big swings here.
Yeah.
Round 3 Darstroke. Who would have thought?
It was an amazing fight.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Jack Della Maddalena was wrestling his way up and got darsed.
Yeah, and
in the third round.
Zhang Weili beat Shevchenko, however the fuck you say it, because that's my goal.
And then Conor McGregor cashed in the Money in the Bank
right.
at welterweight.
We need a Money in the Bank in the UFC. That would be so dangerous.
That'd be very illegal.
And we need a ladder match to win it.
The ladder match. First person to escape the cage match, but you put the whole rest of the division around it to keep you in.
An Iron Man match.
A gauntlet match. Unironically, UFC used to be that, 25 minutes. But seriously, bet on the, please, use code RTP if you're betting. $100 on your first?
Risk free, $100. Comes right back to you if you miss, but you won't miss, you'll cash out big. When you said please, I so badly wanted to say, hit my music.
Please, hit my music.
Yeah. No, we have some non-WWE stuff to talk about. Let's start with the HBO. Let's start with not HBO, AEW.
Let's start with HBO. That's great.
On HBO Max. Honestly, this was the show of the week. This was the show to talk about.
And it was free.
Free on HBO
with
Max.
With a subscription.
They do that. It's not a pay-per-view, so this was just a standard episode of Dynamite, but it felt like a pay-per-view. It's kicked off with the women's blood and guts match. And I feel like what I loved about this episode of Dynamite, I felt like 6 people got put over on this show. I mean, Megan Bayne seemed like a badass. Sky Blue seemed like a badass.
Everybody looked like a monster.
It progressed so many storylines between like Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné. Personally, I just didn't like the finish. I don't really care about Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm stuff. I just think Toni Storm is so much bigger than that. But I know you liked it, so let the people know what you thought.
I liked it because I thought it was well done. I just got into AEW, so I'm not as exhausted on the storyline, honestly.
It's a lot, yeah. It's been going on for a
so
while.
from my perspective, I've just tuned in for the past couple months now, and I'm not tired of the storyline. So I liked it. I liked the finish. I liked using the belt and the championship belt, and Tony just like sitting there like.
It was cool them grabbing all of Mercedes' belts. Yes. I thought that was so cool.
It was a great match, and I thought the match was like really well done. It was called Blood and Guts, and you got it within about 5 minutes.
Yeah. It was just War Games, pretty much.
I liked it better than most War Games matches I've seen.
I think any main roster War Games, I think this kills that. One thing I want to give a special shout out, and I know I said her name earlier, but Megan Bayne, man, you might not be aware of this because I know you're not as active on like wrestling Twitter as me, but Megan Bayne is currently doing weekly AEW television. And in between that, flying to Japan to do, I think it's a Stardom tournament.
Jeez.
So she's going back and forth.
That's every 14-hour, 15-hour
every
flight.
Every other fucking day, bro, is exhausting. So
how do you even work out and eat properly?
And she's that big girl on the heel side.
Oh, the burly.
Yeah. So I feel like superstars like that don't really do shit like that. That just kind of have the look. But she's kind of on the trajectory to be like one of them ones. I think they're trying to build her up to be
that's
like
a crazy
Kyle
work
Fletcher,
ethic too. That's insane.
Yes. Yeah. So shout out her. I think she's kind of the face or the next up. I also think Thekla is really good. The Spider Girl, she like flips back and does that thing and she spears the ref. I think she's amazing. I think they need to give her a world championship ASAP. But other than that, those were kind of my key points on that. And then after that, we got the Hangman Will Hobbs match.
Great match.
Tonight is when Shibata fights Hangman, and then next week we get Hangman versus Samoa Joe in a steel cage, right?
In a cage.
I can't wait for that.
You stupid bitch. What do you say? You want me in a cage? All you had to do was ask. Like,
Hangman. I don't love the Hangman character, but those fired up promos. This month he's been absolutely killing it. Between the Halloween shit where he dressed up as Tony Schiavone, and then this, I'm ready.
you can tell that he's not fighting for his legacy anymore. He's just like, let's just have the best time absolutely possible. And I literally, he's like, Samoa Joe, you want me in a cage? You should have just asked, stupid. Dumbass. Just ask next time. You don't got to beat me up.
Who do you think wins? Hangman or Joe?
If it's going to be I don't want to see.
I think both make a lot of sense. Like, I don't think there's a loser of this match.
I don't want to see this feud keep going. That's the thing.
I would if they set up... Like, the only way I'd want this feud to keep going is if Hangman wins and Samoa Joe makes the third one a retirement match. Then I would be cool with it.
That's actually a pretty good angle. Like, why would he give him the third match?
Yeah, there's no other reason, you know?
Yeah, and AEW does like to do that, too.
Yeah, so that would be my only way I would keep it going. But I agree with you. If, like, Joe wins or Hangman wins and they don't take a extreme angle like that, on to the next one. Let's get Will Ospreay or Swerve back in the main event scene. I know they're both hurt, I think. I don't know when they come back. MJF is coming back. Because you got to think, like, what would they do with Hangman if he loses besides feuding with Joe? I think the real next person for him is MJF. MJF, I think, just returned from injury or is returning next week. And he has that, like, contract, but he has to, like, say it a week in advance. So I could see that maybe being the angle, maybe and I don't remember. I was about to say end of days, but that's Baron Corbin. I forgot what their end of the year.
The end of days is I
don't remember what their end of the year pay-per-view is, but it's something like that. World's End, I think, is what it's called. I could see them building up to that for that, and then again, I like doing this for NXT because I know NXT and Dynamite because I know a lot of people don't watch it every week.
Yeah,
but I do think this is a good time to start watching. Because they're about to set up the Continental Classic Tournament, which is pretty much a tournament. The winner's going to fight Kenny Omega. And I think that's going to be Takeshita winning that. Takeshita wins that, and he wins the G2 in the same year. And he fights Okada. And that's how that beef gets set up, which is what we've been waiting on. We had the FTR segment with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I think FTR is like the best heels in wrestling right now. Honestly, is that extreme?
I think they're the most effective heels.
Yeah.
I think MJF always holds that title for me. Okay. He's just good. Like, if you give him a mic, you tell him to be a dick, and he's like, got you.
Same style, too, where it's like not overly complicated.
Not the bully.
I hate everybody because I was bullied, and like, it's just, I'm going to come out here and be the biggest fucking asshole. I forget, what did when he told Ricky Steamboat, I just wanted to come out here and talk to my favorite wrestler. Do you have Macho Man's number? Like, who says shit like that, bro? It's just hilarious. And I think FTR needs to beat Brodito and take the titles from them. I'm cool with Bandito going on a single.
I mean, you can't get all that heat by beating up and pie-facing Ricky Steamboat. You know what I mean? Like, that dude's so old.
Yeah. So there was that, and then we had the men's match for Blood and Guts. And
Great match.
What did you think about this one?
Death Riders did incredible. John Moxley had his working pants on.
Yeah.
It's always funny when he brings out a fork. I mean, like
I hate it. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think it's funny. Like, for me, it's like a fork. It's not menacing at all to me.
To me, I just hate because I know what's coming and all the stabbing shit. I fucking hate that, but. I agree. It is a
just
funny
so you know, he's not. It is a work. He's not.
Oh,
actually,
I know.
Like,
I know. Like, unless he
just goes like this, and then you just.
Except Darby Allin.
Darby's like you show the prongs in my back.
And then you saw that clearly because Darby Allin don't give a fuck, and he took a table spot on fire.
And that fire was still on his back, burning him for like 5 seconds after. I'm like, dude.
I'm glad you agreed with me because we texted about this. Pac is definitely on the needle, bro.
That dude is huge.
He has to be.
Like, there's some guys at my gym that like I've worked out with before who are smaller than him, and they're like, we take so much steroids. Like, they're like, we're on so much gear, and they don't even kind of look like him.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Obviously, I'm not saying steroids is like a fix-all to get you jacked. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
a lot of work.
For sure.
But like, my God.
It's ridiculous. He has a lot of steroids.
And his hair's thinning. Like, he's got, like, you can see the acne scars on his back. Like, I'm like, dude, this dude's on the gear. But also, like, I don't care. If I was getting paid to go wrestle and do that and look great, give it all to me. Let me look juiced out. You know what I mean? I don't care at all. Just take your health seriously.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, the Darby Allin. Just every time I see him, I like. There's always a few times I'm gonna feel nauseous and lightheaded. Like Darby Allin killed himself in that match.
Literally.
You know.
Literally.
I don't. Will YouTube get mad at that?
Unalived.
Unalived. Yeah.
Himself.
What do they say? Suicide?
I don't know.
I hate that.
I hate unalive. All that. He killed himself in that fucking match. He took it.
He did. He front flipped like 20 feet into a flaming table.
And he did all that, and Moxley tapped out to a fucking ankle. So let's talk about that because I do think that's probably our biggest disagreement from this week in wrestling.
A little bit. It's a little bit.
And that's totally fine. I can see where you're coming from completely, but I love the angle because. Sure, Moxley looks soft, whatever. But Moxley, I think, out of every wrestler right now, could take that looking soft, and he'll be fine on.
You're right, because he'll come out there with a fork and stab you.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly, on the other hand, I think they're trying to push him to the main event all of a sudden. I'm guessing this is off the back of the Adam Cole injury and them wanting a guy like that, and now Kyle O'Reilly, who's worked so closely with Adam Cole.
In the Edge injury?
No, but...
Last time is now? No.
Go find yourself. No, but Adam Cole... Kyle O'Reilly is a guy that I didn't really like until recently, and I'm glad he's over. And part of me, when they did the Briscoe stuff to start the match and he was hurt, I thought Adam Cole was coming back.
Oh.
I was geeked. I was like, oh, man, but...
Yeah, necks don't unbreak themselves.
Well, I don't think it's a neck thing.
Oh, it's a concussion thing?
I think it's a concussion and like a fear thing.
Who's the neck right now? That's Kevin Owens. That's what I mixed it up.
Yeah. So everybody's going through it right now. But honestly, out of all the shows this week, I think you'll agree with me. This was by far the best show.
I wouldn't say by far, but definitely clearly the best show.
Rank every wrestling show you watched this week.
Dynamite's my favorite show I've watched this week. And then I think it would go SmackDown, then Raw. Because Raw was one big moment for me. I
feel like that was SmackDown too, honestly. I know you said it at the start of the show. I didn't really love the wrestling this week other than Ilya and Axiom. Everything on AEW. John Cena versus Dom.
Actually, now looking at SmackDown, honestly, the announcements of Gunther and Javon Evans was cool for me.
That was on Raw, though. They announced it on Raw.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right.
They announced it on Raw.
That was Raw. So, Ilya versus Axiom carried SmackDown for me. Ryder versus LA Knight carried it for me. But yeah, honestly, Jay versus Miz, right. I fast forwarded through a lot of that. The Vision stuff is good, but it just feels lazy but true. You're right. So, honestly, yeah, SmackDown would be the bottom.
Let me pitch you some outside of show news. Okay. This is some stuff that happened this week. Joe Hendry officially signed with WWE.
Great news.
Great news. I guess we kind of talked about it between him and Ryder, but what do you think the angle is to get him kind of involved with the show?
Zack Ryder?
No, I mean Joe Hendry.
Oh, Joe Hendry. R-Truth.
Fuck it.
R-Truth and Hornswoggle they're gonna make a new faction to take on the Vision.
There you go with Joe Hendry.
The Vision versus Joe Hendry, R-Truth, the Awesome Hendry,
and they just get squashed, and then Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and the face Avengers come out.
No, honestly, I don't know where that's actually is a thing for me. Is like I'm joking, but I really don't know what you do with Joe Hendry because he's not really that serious.
Yeah, I don't want him in the main event scene.
But like.
He could be the IC after Cena.
The Miz, maybe he gets involved with the. Honestly, he'd probably get involved with the El Grande Americano stuff.
Yeah. That's
probably what he do. That's the highest you get while still being a gimmick.
Yeah.
In WWE, while being like a slapstick gimmick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the biggest match R-Truth would have right now would be probably with one of the goons.
I would love to see Hendry and Rusev go at it in feuds. That kind of serious cutthroat guy and Joe Hendry doing his stupid shit.
Well, Hendry would just lose in 5 minutes.
No, he'd roll him up.
Or roll him up.
Another bit of news in January, SmackDown's going back to 3 hours.
Oh, God.
Who the fuck's idea was this?
Dude, it's hard to get through all this wrestling content in a week. Like
it's terrible.
It's a lot of hours.
I worked overtime 3 days this week. I was in Calexico until 8.
I literally got back from wrestling at 11 and had to watch more wrestling. I'm sitting there concussed from taking bumps for 2 hours, and I'm just time to go review SmackDown. You know,
it's not it. Now you got to do. Imagine that you're there until 11, 3 hours. Hell no.
And then that means what's funny is that we're still going to get the same amount of wrestling. It's just going to be 4 times more commercials
and 10 times more watered down. It's going to be
and weird promos.
Yeah, really bad weird promos. Dudes. Yeah, it's just a mess.
Unless they're making room for more. However, if we're going to take the optimistic point of view, It could be because they're calling up more NXT guys, and we need more time for them to breathe.
And that's the typical time for a road to WrestleMania. So we're gonna start Royal Rumble build up and stuff like that. I feel like I agree with that, but I feel like we've seen this before and it never hits the same.
Yeah, being optimistic in the same sentence as knowing that Triple H is booking it, it's
love your optimism though. I absolutely love it. You're a great guy.
If the hours can be dedicated to like Ricky Saints, Obafemi, Ethan Page, they're doing their call-up feud, doing promos, whatever, I will not complain.
Okay.
However, I don't think that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be a 40-minute Chelsea Green segment.
Yeah, we're going to.
Which I love Chelsea Green, but like for 40 minutes, like what are we doing? You know.
That's like all the shit she does.
Exactly.
Some non-WWE, non-AEW stuff. I actually watched TNA's pay-per-view yesterday.
How was it?
Honestly, I watched probably 2 or 3 pay-per-views from them this year. All of them were fucking terrible. This was...
I was not expecting you to go that.
This was a great show. This was a really good show. So, on Thursday, they pretty much had their Daniel Bryan story in TNA, where they had a guy get the world championship that everybody wanted to get the world championship and no one thought they would pull the trigger on, right? The first show back, they have him lose the fucking title. So then they start these rumors online. He walked out on the show and stuff like that. And then he ends up returning on the show and like kicking the guy's ass.
He's getting cheap heat.
Such cheap heat, right? Everyone was like, he's going to go to NXT. That's why he walked out. And like, so they were using real shit, but it was just so obvious getting to the point. I will say though, Leon Slater is that guy. And he's the guy that I said, bro, this dude.
That was the guy that was wrestling, what's his name? Yeah, and they had that crazy sequence.
I think he's better than Javon. I think he's 21 years old, retains his title against Rich Swann, who's a legend in TNA. Amazing match. And then this is why I brought this up, because I want to give a shout out to TNA. They did a whole like kind of shout out thing for him still performing after his grandma passed away, I think the week before. And they put it on the screen and everything. I've never seen a wrestling promotion do something like that. You know, at that level. She had nothing to do with wrestling. Crazy. You know, so for a 21-year-old to still fight through that, he's from England, I want to say. And him on the other side on the other side of the world while all your family's going through that to still wrestle. You didn't have to do that, but shout out Leon Slater for giving us a show, an amazing match. Probably the match of the night, maybe the match of the week, honestly, for me.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so, hey, TNA cooked this week, WWE cooked this week,
kind of. You gotta watch TNA.
No, you don't.
No?
Don't worry about it.
Right,
don't worry about it.
You'll let me know?
Yeah,
you'll let me know? Okay,
that's why I do this. I'm telling you, you can do Raw and SmackDown every week. I'll let you know when you got to tune into Dynamite.
Or NXT, which I guess I need to watch last week's NXT.
Not last week's. Watch next week's. Next week's definitely tap in. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of This Week in Wrestling. Please sure to leave a like, subscribe, and follow. Shout out Boom Fantasy. Use code RTP for a risk-free bet up to $100. I've been Anthony. This is John.
Code RTP, Boom Fantasy.